Namaste. Last week, a very important incident has happened in West Bengal politics. Calcutta High Court had ordered suspension of one block development officer, one subdivisional officer, and an additional inspector on the charge of manipulating the nomination filing of opposition candidates in Uluberia in the recent Panchayat election 2023. So this is a very important incident as far as West Bengal politics is concerned, because if you compare West Bengal with all other states, we would find that in all other states, the state officials, the government officials are charged frequently for different charges, either corruption or something else. But it is only in West Bengal we never find the government officials being charged for anything, though the state has been engaged in astronomical volume of corruption, and the state has broken all records of corruption of perhaps all other states. In spite of that, the government officials remained protected, and no state officials had ever been charged by the government of West Bengal for any wrongdoing, while it is impossible for the ruling party to engage in corruption without the help of the government officials. Especially the corruption happened in the sector of recruitment and in various other sectors like embezzlement of the public account fund. Starting right from 2011 till today, only one BDO had been held by the government of West Bengal in extortion charge in 2017. The embezzlement of Manrega fund couldn't have happened without the participation of the block development officers, but in the Manrega fund embezzlement program, none of the block development officers had yet been charged for any such cause. Similarly, in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Fund 2, it has been defalcated and embezzled allegedly, and the fund has been stopped for the time being for such causes, though the central government had instructed the state government to take due proceedings against the erring officials. No such procedure has been started. No, or else we can say like this, that even if any proceedings have been done, it has not been reported in the public domain. Nobody knows if any proceeding has happened against the erring officials, the erring BDOs. So we can see the pattern in West Bengal is not to take any action against the government officials. But this is the first time when the Calcutta High Court had ordered suspension of 3 government officials, and this is the first time true TMC cadres, 3 of them, had been given the recommendation of some punishment. So why am I saying that they are the true TMC cadres? The reality is the West Bengal TMC is winning election after election with the help of these particular government officials, the IASs, the IPSs, and the WBCS executive officers. They are actually manipulating the poll and thus helping the ruling party win election after election. While I am saying this, since the result of the 2021 Vidhan Sabha election got declared, after the Panchayat election 2023, it has come into public, it has come into open, and everyone has come to know that the ruling party is winning the election by using the state machinery. The state machinery is manipulating the poll, leading to the victory of Trinamool Congress. It has been out in the open that the BDOs, the joint BDOs, the SDOs, they have manipulated the poll procedure. Now it is out in the open. People have seen how the BDOs have manipulated the counting, has attributed the votes of candidate A to candidate B, or they have sometimes declared the losing candidate to be the winner. Sometimes they have issued an unsigned certificate to the winner and then again issued another certificate duly signed to the losing candidate, and on being challenged by the real winner, they said that you didn't come in due time, so now your certificate is invalid, and the real certificate, the real winner, has been declared. And somewhere they have issued invalid certificates, and in some places they have issued the same certificate to two different persons, and then leading to conflicts between the two candidates. So in various modes, the election, the counting has been rigged by the state's officials, and this has been the modus operandi of Trinamool's victory poll after poll in West Bengal. And then only it explains that how is it possible that while Trinamool is invincible in West Bengal, it couldn't keep any electoral footprint in any other state. The Trinamool Congress has fought elections in other small states too, like Goa and Tripura, but nowhere they could keep any footprint, any electoral footprint. Moreover, they have been defeated in a very shameful manner. But in West Bengal, they are invincible. How was this possible? Some people try to explain that Prashant Kishore, PK, had helped TMC to win, and PK had helped them to manipulate different things. But had that been true, then TMC would have kept their firm electoral footprint in other states too. Had PK been the real factor, then TMC could have kept their electoral footprint in other states too, which they couldn't. So it is very obvious that it is not the PK factor but something else, and that is the West Bengal state machinery. TMC is winning elections with the help of the state's officials, and there is a cartel of officials who are helping and working for TMC in the time of elections. Not only in panchayat election, some people might think that it could happen because the panchayat election was held with the help of ballot papers. It is not at all the case. They are rigging the poll even when the poll is happening with the help of EVMs, because there are places where the a particular opposition party has been shown to have received certain number of votes, while a single family of the place has got greater number of votes for that particular opposition party. A family, greater family with all cousins and their families, a single family had greater number of votes than what was shown they got in a particular booth of a particular place. So such things had happened, and it is absolutely a blatantly accounting manipulation that had happened, and that had happened with the help of the state's officials. It is apparent, and after the panchayat election it is evident. The Calcutta High Court is hearing many other cases, so it is expected that many other BDOs would face the wrath of law. But till now, they had been working peacefully for the ruling party, for helping the ruling party to win election after election without any fear, because the West Bengal government under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee had never taken any action against them. So they thought whatever they could do, nothing would happen to them. But the recent incident that happened last week, the order of the Calcutta High Court, had actually made a dent in their confidence level too. So reportedly, the Chief Secretary of the state, Hari Krishna Dwivedi, had a meeting with all the DMs, the SDMs, and the BDOs, the WBC's executive officers and the IASs of the state, that they should not feel afraid. They should work on without any fear. They should work uninterrupted without any hindrance, because the state would stand beside them. So the Chief Secretary of West Bengal has assured them to stand beside their forgery, to stand beside poll manipulation, to stand beside poll rigging. The Chief Secretary has reportedly said, given them assurance that the Chief Secretary, the state would stand beside the erring officials. The state would stand beside the erring officials. So the process started from when the BDO of Uluberia and Minakha had been accused in Calcutta High Court, and the single bench judge of Justice Amrita Sinha had heard the case. Justice Sinha had ordered for a CBI probe, after which the government of West Bengal had challenged the verdict in the division bench, and the division bench of Justice Arijit Banerjee and Justice Apurva Sinha Roy had stayed the CBI probe and instead ordered a probe by the state police itself, a special investigating team of the state police, under the surveillance and supervision of a retired high court judge. And that time people didn't expect much from the state police set, because it was not really expected that the state police would go for any genuine probe against the state's officials, the BDOs. But finally, it has been said that the SIT has come out with proper probe, and based on their findings, the Calcutta High Court had ordered the suspension of 3 officials, and many such officials would perhaps face the same fate, meet the same fate, when the state government is actually claiming that they will be beside them, they will be beside their forgery, their manipulation, their poll rigging, and all sorts of wrongdoing. The state will fight for the wrongdoing of the officers. So these sorts of impossibilities are becoming possible in West Bengal. Such blatant mishandling of constitution is being claimed to be the right act in the court of law. The government is planning to defend forgery in the court of law. So these things are happening, and I want to draw your notice to one more incident. At the end of June, Calcutta High Court single bench of Justice Raja Shekhar Mantha had also ordered the filing of FIR against one IC and one SDPO of Canning, while an independent candidate of Canning Hatpukuria area, Shirajul Islam Gharami, was going for filing his nomination in the Panchayat poll. Then there was a violence broke out against them, as he was proceeding with more than 250 people along with him. And in that violence, Shirajul Islam had alleged that the IC and the SDPO was complicit with the violence mongers, and they helped the violence mongers, and when the violence finally broke out, they remained mute spectators. So, based on such an allegation, Justice Raja Shekhar Mantha had ordered registration of FIR against the 2 erring officials. However, again, the West Bengal government had challenged that single bench order in the division bench, and the Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Justice Shiva Gyanam division bench, had heard that appeal of the West Bengal government, and the division bench of Justice Shiva Gyanam and Justice Hiranmaya Bhattacharya had ordered that such a case should have been heard by the judicial magistrate, and Calcutta High Court should consider, the single bench should consider whether the case should go to the judicial magistrate or not. So the trend of Calcutta High Court ordering to register the FIR against state's erring official could not be started. But it would be good for the state people if this trend also begins. The Calcutta High Court, if it begins from the Calcutta High Court, if Calcutta High Court starts ordering for registration of FIRs against the state's officials, if this trend also begins, which couldn't begin because the division bench had changed the order, turned down the order of the single bench, so the trend couldn't begin. But if the trend really begins, the orders by Calcutta High Court for filing FIRs against the erring officials of the government, then that is good for the democracy in West Bengal, which is under siege by the government officials under the leadership of Mamata Bandyopadhyay. Thank you very much.